monthly OPEX on Friday. We still have almost 2 full weeks left of trading for the month of March and the quarter, Q1 2022. All of the week coming up that we're about to trade, and then 4 days of the following week is still going to be March, even though those options are going to be called April week 1. April isn't until Friday of that week. Okay, anyway, let's start off looking at the chart of the S&P 500, the more simplified version of the daily chart, the one that we put the forks on and really look closely at our simple moving averages and our more major levels. So here's where we ended the week, all the way up here at the 50 and the 200-day simple moving average. And why did we get this high? Because we started off the week down here on Monday with the guillotine hanging over our necks here, with the 50-day coming down through the 200-day. And the one thing that was going to save us was the fact that this 200-day is still a rising line, so this really wasn't truly a death cross. And the market took the initiative here. We came down on Monday, we back tested and held a higher low for the month of March, and that was enough to get us going into a 4-day rally starting on Tuesday with a little bit of a gap up open, and boom, here we ended the week all the way back up here, closing out the week above the 50-day, taking a look below the 2022 halfway back, the halfway back on the year at 44.64 and change, and taking a look below the 200-day, which sits just above, and there was also a gap in here that we looked into as well. The last time we closed above the 50-day was all the way back here in January, on January 12th. That is the last time that we closed above the 50 days. So this is a very significant move on Friday, ending the week that way and ending a daily close that way. So really it's all going to be about whether we're going to be able to pull this off again on Monday. Even if we pull back below the 50-day intraday, we need to see ourselves rally back and close above that 50-day. If we do, that is a good sign. That is a good sign that we are just kind of consolidating, maybe some profit taking, some weak hands being flushed out, and before we take off for one more leg up to end the quarter. And maybe we're going to wind up all the way up here, looking below 4,600, looking against these highs here from February, these 2 attempts to break out in February that failed. So maybe we're going to get up here and, maybe even try to take this out and close the quarter up a little higher than that, maybe in the low 4,600s. So maybe that is the plan. But first, let's see what kind of a pullback the market may want first. We are off of these highs right now in futures. Sunday night, it's only about 7:15, 7:20 Eastern time, around in that time frame. So we're very early in the night, but we are off of these Friday highs tonight so far. So already seeing a little bit of a pullback and consolidation, but nothing too major just yet. Anyway, let's take a look at the roadmap chart and get a little closer feel for what we will be looking at come Monday. If we come out of the gate a little bit weak and kind of sit here in a range between the 50-day and Friday's high and just sort of consolidate back and forth here, as long as we hold this 50-day, you should be buying some calls. And especially if we close the day out above the 50-day. You don't want to be bothering yourself with puts if that's all we're going to do. Because we're probably just going to sit there and consolidate, get a day of digestion, maybe 2 days of digestion, and then maybe by Wednesday be taking off. If we break down below the 50-day intraday, that's okay too. Maybe we got to back test and try to hold Friday's low. And as long as we do that, you could buy calls if you want, or you could just wait for the bounce to come back up and retake the 50-day. Nothing wrong with waiting for that 50-day to be retaken. But if you want to try to buy calls down here at a test and hold above Friday's low, then we're looking for the day to come back and close back above the 50-day. If that's the way things work out, that's the way things work out. If we come into the day Monday and we see a more serious pullback that breaks below Friday's low, then frankly, we're probably coming all the way down here to test the 20-day simple moving average. And look what it's sitting here, it's curving around and starting to rise, so is the 10-day. And it's right in line with the March halfway back. So we have our 2022, our yearly halfway back, our quarterly halfway back for that matter. And then we have our halfway back for the month that we're getting ready to wrap up in another 2 weeks. The high on Friday is the high for the month of March. The low on the 8th is the low for the month. The halfway back point between those two levels right now, 43.11 and change. So maybe that's the kind of pullback we would have to see before we get that second leg back up. And frankly, you know, that is a very good ride on some puts. You could get into some puts, looking for that break of the 50-day. If we break below Friday's low, you stay short all the way down here to this test of that halfway back. If we were to break this halfway back, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but it's pretty simple. We're probably coming all the way back here to the March low. I don't see anything special about this holding either. Maybe we're going to end up testing all the way down here to the February low. We'll see. Okay. Let's take a look at what happened. I wanted to just take a quick look at what happened intraday on Friday because it was a really classic kind of thing going on. So here was Friday's intraday action. Opened, set our initial balance range around 12:20, 12:30 Eastern time. We broke out of the initial balance range, but the 50-day was just above that initial balance range. And so we kind of got caught there in a net, you know, and kind of consolidated sideways, had a little false breakout that ended up coming back and back testing that 50-day. But then from there, boom, we took off and had a big rally to end the day and really nearly doubled up the day from holding that 50-day. So kind of consider this and keep this in mind if this is the way things go on Monday, only you know, either it being with the 50-day or it being with the 200-day. So if we take off out of the gate and go up and kind of sit here and game the 200-day for a little while and Friday's high, but then blast through it, well, actually I should be pointing up here, but I'm just trying to figuratively make it look like, you know, this is the way it goes. Consider that we might consolidate for a while, and then if we take off at the end of the day, it's kind of a repeat pattern of this behavior that we saw on Friday. Okay, so something to think about there. Finally, let's just take a look at the option volume and get out of here because it's gorgeous weather outside here in Chicago, and I'm sure nobody wants to be sitting and watching a video right now. Let me try to get the options in here. Here they are. Okay. So big volume leader on the call side Friday were the 4550 calls and the 4500s. However, they're in almost a little bit of a matching set. So if we see only a minor rally on Monday that just takes a look above Friday's high and fails to get anywhere close to 4500, maybe it's because there are sellers of these 4500 calls that want to see that little bit deeper pullback down to the 20-day. If that's the case, then you know, you can either follow them or you can go over here to the puts and see where we're at maybe on these 4350s. These 4350 puts were a big volume leader. $17 going out the door on Friday, but if we were to look above Friday's high and fail to get over 4500, maybe these guys are at the $11 window in that moment building volume. These might be a great entry. What was in the $11 window as we went out the door on Friday? These 4300s. So if we come into the day weak and can't even get over Friday's high, maybe you look at these 4300 puts, and once again, we're looking for a pullback down to the 50-day. If the 50-day doesn't hold, we look for the pullback to continue down to Friday's low. And if Friday's low doesn't hold, we look for the pullback to come down here to the halfway back for the month of March and to the 20-day. So that scenario would be the ultimate moneymaker because you could ride the puts all the way down to here, cash them out, take those profits, put them into some calls. We'd look at what's at the $11 window and what's on volume, the $11 and $8 windows, and on volume, maybe they're those 4500s. Maybe they're even lower strike than that. We buy those and we enjoy the ride back up for that attempt to take out the 200-day as we end the week. Maybe we'll be back up here, and maybe we'll be taking out the 200-day, and maybe we'll be closing the week up here. Maybe we'll even be all the way up here to end the week above this 100-day. And remember that the median line of our bull fork is right in line with this 100-day as well. Okay, so that's it. Hope this video helped you out and gave you some ideas for how to trade on Monday. Have a great rest of your Sunday. As always, good luck and good trading.